Hello everybody, this is Kath here. I still have the cold thing, but I'm feeling a lot better today, feeling a bit brighter anyway, and I wanted to share a couple of things with you. Now, first of all, I did make a promise that I would show you exactly how much LDN I use and how much when I first started off using it. Okay, you see this spoon here? It's not a teaspoon. That's a teaspoon. I'm not sure if that is a 5 ml spoon that they would have when you go and get cough mixture or something like that from the pharmacy or the chemist. But I'm going to try and show you. This is my this is my LDN. It comes in a bottle. It's a month supply, and you get a little stopper thing with it as well that you can put into the lid, and then you get this oral syringe as well. Now, if I draw up, I was on 0.5, so let's see if I can get 0.5 up there. Yeah, okay. Right, camera's falling over as well, that's good. Right, so this is 0.5 of a mil. You see that on the bottom, and that's not even a proper teaspoon, it's just a tiny little dot on the bottom of a 5 ml teaspoon. It's probably about a 3 ml teaspoon, that one. Anyway, the maximum amount you're ever going to take is 4.5. Let's do that again. It's 4.5, but you really don't need to take that much. That's the maximum amount, and some people go straight to that maximum amount and stick with it, you know, and they're fine. But other people have to build up slowly. I was one of the ones that had to build up slowly from 0.5 until I was at 3 mils at the end. But if you look at that, that's I wish I had one of those spoons that you get from when you have a cough medicine, because it would show you that it's under a 5 ml teaspoon, and that is how much you take in the evening, once in the evening every day, and that will rebalance all your immune system and trigger off your endorphins by 3 times the amount that your body usually produces whilst you sleep. Okay, and that is, it's just a tiny amount. It's non-harmful. It's I'll just put it back in the bottle. That goes back in my fridge in a minute. Anyway, it's non-harmful. It tastes a bit like old-fashioned cough mixture. I don't know if you like that sort of taste, but there's many forms of LDN. LDN is it can come in a cream, like a transdermal cream you put on your skin. I think you might put it on your tummy. I'm not sure where you put it, but it comes in a little cream in a tube, a cream, you know, and you put that on your skin, and that works. It's just a different form of delivery, but it works the same. And then you've got the tablets as well, as mine is a liquid form, and I get that made up from Dixon's Chemist. It comes every month, all mixed up for me, and all I have to do is take it, and that cost me £18.50 a month for a month's supply, and I take that much whatever I'm on that evening. I've actually gone back down because I was on 3.5 mils, and I was on that for about 3 years, and then I started getting these like aches in my joints, and I just wasn't feeling right, and I was like, oh dear, you know, what's going on? And then I took my own advice and I dropped down the LDN. And as soon as I dropped down the LDN and I started off at 0.5 again, I'm building my way up. I'm on 2 meals a night now, but I'll be on there for at least 6 weeks before I go up again. But all the pain in my joints have gone, and yeah, it was definitely the right thing to do. And the stupid thing is, I tell people all the time, if you're having some unwanted side effects, then drop the LDN. And drop the LDN, because sometimes I think what happens is your body gets used to that. Your body is a little bit better after it's been rebalanced, and you don't need as much to keep the balance up. So you may not need as much then as your optimum amount. I'm finding 2 meals quite good at the moment. I'm still going to go up to 3 meals because that's where I was before. But if I feel that I don't know, it doesn't feel right, then I should drop back down to 2 and just stay there. Another lady I know, she's on just 1 meal a night, and that's enough for her. That's all she can tolerate. Anyway, that's about all. I wanted to do this YouTube video because I haven't done one for a long time. I've got the most awful cold, but bearing up, and I wanted to show you on a spoon how much that itty bitty amount is, and that can change your life, you know. Why people still don't go in and look at it, I don't know. I suppose really when I first started LDN, I was unsure, I didn't know, but the only way to get away from that is to research on it. And most places, if they sort of say, oh, you know, you don't need to look into it, it does this, it does that, but I don't say that. I say look into it, research it for yourself. It took me, I don't know how many months before I actually started taking it. I made a promise to a friend who died that if it worked for me, I would pay it forward for as long as I'm able, and that's what I do. So I'm just getting it out there. The only way you're going to hear about this is because it's through word of mouth, and that's how everybody who's on it, and there are over like hundreds of thousands of us now worldwide taking this LDN, and often going against doctor's advice, because if the doctor is not LDN aware, I'm not saying don't take your doctor's advice if it's about other stuff, but if it's about LDN, if they're not LDN aware, don't take any notice of them, because they don't know. We're actually educating the medical professionals that there is also more medical professionals out there now that are actually getting on and looking into this, because it's working. There's so many people it's working for, and there's so many testimonials on the LDN Research Trust site on Facebook with Linda Elsgood. She's the founder of that, but she's also on the computer thing, you know, on the internet is LDN.org, I think, research.org, I don't know, it's one of those things, you'll find it. Linda Elsgood is her name, and she was a person that has inspired me to want to do what I'm doing now, which is to let other people know about it, because people don't know, and people, when you tell them about it, just think, yeah, I've seen it all before, yeah, it's a load of rubbish. But it isn't. It really works. I'm not saying it works for everybody, you know, there's nothing out there that's going to work for everybody, but if you have any side effects at all, and that, I'm not meaning nasty side effects. I had, when I first started taking it, when I got up to about, I don't know, 3 weeks or so, 4 weeks maybe, when I was upping it, I went to from 0.5 to 1, and then from 1 to 1.5, and then 1.5 to, and so forth, until I got to 3.5, and I stopped there, and then I brought it back down to 3, and I thought that's a better one for me. That felt better. All my brain fog had lifted. I I could think things clearly. I wasn't having so many urinary issues. My balance was not as bad as it used to be. I wasn't stuttering. I was in a wheelchair. I couldn't get out the wheelchair by myself. I was in a bad state. I've been diagnosed with secondary progressive, and after having been diagnosed wrongly with relapsing and remitting in 2008, in 2010 I went into secondary progressive. I went downhill really fast. I got sacked from my job. I think that had made a tribute to why I went down so fast. But anyway, and then I was tested. I was given vascular tests because they thought I had strokes, you see, and it came back that it wasn't stroke at all. It was multiple sclerosis, and I've had it for a long time. And actually, I've had it all my life. I remember as a child saying to my mum, "Oh, mum, my legs are fizzy. Like, my legs are all fizzy and hurt me," and she would say, "That's quite lovely." She said, "It's just growing pains. Don't worry about it." So I got used to it. So I've grown up with it, and I've had it all my life. I never got it diagnosed until 2012, and I'm 60 years old now. So, and I had it when I started off. They brought it back with medical records and everything, to when I was 15, and so that is amazing. But I also want to talk about other things as well, because LDN it works really well. If it's not working for you, if you have any reaction to it, it means it is working, and that's a good thing. And then if people say, "Oh, I don't get any reaction at all," but some people take years for it to start working, whereas other people it just works straight away. It only took me 2 days before it started working for me, but it's working for so many autoimmune diseases, and you don't need to be taking these DMD drugs. The drug companies are not interested in trialling LDN, low dose naltrexone. It's been trialled in high doses for combating drug withdrawal or alcoholism symptoms withdrawal, and it works for that. It's a timed release one, so that if you took a drug any time within 24 hours, you'd feel rough and probably very nauseous and not very well at all. So it would stop you taking drugs or drink. But in low doses, they found it was like amazing for people with immune diseases, and it works on animals as well. Dogs are on naltrexone. It works for babies in the infertility place. If you look in that trust site, you can see all the places that the doctors are using naltrexone now, and it's cheap. It's widely available, and you can have it anywhere on the planet. It's not expensive. It costs £18.50 for a month's supply for me, so that's not a lot of money for the amount of help that it gives you. It's not a cure-all though. I mean, I've had this all my life, and I still can't stand for very long. I still can't walk very far, and I still have short-term memory loss. So don't worry if I repeat myself, as I probably don't know that I've done it. Well, I wouldn't know. But anyway, if I talk for too long, then I'll forget where I'm going, and I'll have to say ta-ra. But anyway, where was I? Yeah, LDN. Yeah, I still can't do those sort of things, but then I'm still mobile. I walk with 2 sticks. I still sort of I can't stand. As I said, I can't stand for very long, but that's only because of my. At the moment, I'm going through a phase of walking on broken glass, and the burning pain is quite horrific as well at the moment. But my daughter got something for me to try, and that was some cannabis thing. put it in like I think of a vaporizer thing, and I just want to tell you that OMG, did it. I put it in this vaporizer that I bought it for my 60th birthday actually, and not really tried it much, but I had to go with it. They got some. I tried it, and I just could not believe it. I could not believe it because I had in my youth tried it. I've been a bit of a wild child in my youth, you know. And I used to ride a motorbike and 750 Yamaha shaft drive, very nice. My husband Adrian, he used to have a 900 Honda. We used to go all over the place, you know. It was good times. But I tried various things in my youth, and I found that I was really well on things like amphetamines. Amphetamine for me was like, oh my god, I've got energy, and they were really good, and I loved amphetamines, but they're not good for your body. Obviously, they make your heart race, and they're not at all good for you. And then I'd obviously had some. I used to smoke cannabis and that, and I used to find it. I really liked smoking it because it was. I don't know. It just helped me, and I didn't know why it was that, because I didn't know what I had. You know, I didn't find out I got my true diagnosis wasn't until 2012, and I when I was in my youth, like, you know, it was in the 1900s, wasn't it? When was I born? I was born in 1925. No, I wasn't. That was my mum. I was born in 1955, yeah. So, that makes me 60 now. Yeah, 60 years old I am. Blimey. I never thought I'd get that far. But anyway, had I not found LDN, I would have never have got this far. I don't know where I would be now if I wasn't on that. I would be... well, I was just sort of like closing in. Everything was closing in. All my hands were curling, and foot drop. Terrible time. And then on LDN, I was able to walk again. I was able to concentrate on a conversation and talk to people and tell them what I thought, and not lose myself in a conversation. I still have problems like with the long-term, with short-term memory loss, and sometimes that can be a real pain. But I'm used to it now, and I'm here. I live in the moment, and I have so many moments or time, so much time in reality when I can talk to you properly, and then before I lose what I'm talking about, you know. But it's not a bad thing, and to be honest with you, I don't worry about money or anything like that, because I don't do the bills or anything now. And when I had in 1990, I had what was thought to be a stroke, and I was ill for 5 years, blind for 2 months, and our little girls were only 18 months and 8 years old at the time. Now they're 26 and 33. Well, Danielle's going to be 33 soon, and so that was a long time ago, and I went to college to learn again. I did that, and then I went and did my nurse training, and this is all with MS, tumor-factic MS. And my MRI scans, if you look at them, you can see I've got at least 4 black holes the size of golf balls in my brain, because that's how the lesions appear. They seep the brain, the fluid from your spinal fluid seeps in into the brain, and it forms like, goes round in a circle and forms like a round ball, and then that stays still, and then because it's not being oxygenated or anything, it dies and it eats itself, like it goes necrotic. So then you're left with a black hole, and I was very fortunate to actually find an MS consultant who knew his stuff, and Magic Malik we called him, and he said to me, he said, I've been looking at your MRI scans and I've been looking at your medical history. He said, and you haven't got relapsing or remitting or secondary progressive. You have a completely different form of MS, a very rare form called tumefactic. And he explained about the black holes and that. And he said normally if what they do is they think you've got a tumour and they take you into hospital and then they drill your skull and they take like a biopsy in there, and then if they don't get anything out, it's a tumefactic lesion, and if they do get something out for testing, it's probably a tumour. But I was fortunate because of the medical history and everything. It took me right back to when I was 15, when I had a numb tongue, and that was put down to a migraine, but I didn't have a headache, and I can take it back even earlier than that as well. I can take it back to when I was at school, but anyway, besides all that, had I not found LDN, I would not be here talking to you like I am now. So this is really worth your while in researching it, and finding out if it's going to be a thing that will benefit you. No harm done. If it doesn't, then don't take it. That's all I can say. My husband's just popping his head round. Hello, Adrian.
Oh, I'm going to go off soon in about 5 minutes.
Okay, lovely. You're going off, yeah?
In about 5 minutes.
5 minutes.
You got that pink?
No. Vic's upstairs, isn't it? Okay. Right, so, sorry about that. Okay, Vicks for the nose, you know. Oh, terrible cold this is. We've all got it now. Anyway, my husband's off. He goes and does a sound engineer for the local barn. They needed somebody to help them, so he volunteered, and he goes down there on the first Sunday to do that and fixes it all up for them so that they can. They have bands on and little, things going on, and it's lovely. I went last week, but I found it too long. And no, last month I went, but this time, no, I can't do it. But I think this is much too long, this video, so I think I'm not gonna post this. I'm gonna do another one. Okay, I'm gonna say tomorrow. I'll do again.